I guess the perception of the outback is that it's like this totally desolate area, but there's actually like heaps of different animal species that live in the outback. And most people have never actually been to what most people perceive as the outback. Like, nobody goes and hangs out in the desert much here. Mostly everyone lives along the coastlines, basically, or the vast majority of the population lives along the coastline.
We don't put shrimp on the barbie. We put prawns on the barbie. And all those things, like, we don't ride kangaroos to school, and we don't all speak like Steve Irwin. We don't all say crikey and go and tackle snakes and crocodiles.
And what are some stereotypes that aren't true?
Aren't true. Probably us being friendly to an extent. Like, a lot of people say that Australians are really laid back and friendly, and that's not always true. If you compare us to Americans, I think Americans are a lot more friendly. We're pretty relaxed though. There's a perception that we have a whole lot of dangerous animals here, and it's true, but if you're in anywhere basically except Queensland, you often don't deal with the dangerous animals. So in Victoria, we have some dangerous snakes and things, but for the most part, it's pretty safe.
Australian stereotypes that aren't true, Dad?
Oh, I think they've all been taken, haven't they? The bronzed Aussie, the beach-loving stuff, while we've already said that's what people often do, it's not the only thing that people do. And I think the other thing too is that the stereotypes that have come through about what Australians are what English and European Australians were 100 years ago, and that's not Australia now. Australia is much more multicultural than that.
Aren't true. Possibly that Australians drink more beer than anyone else. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot of other cultures where a lot of beer is drunk. Australian stereotypes that aren't true. That we're all bronzed and tanned. That we all speak with a very strong accent. Not all Australians speak with a very strong Australian accent. Not all Australians are idiots.
Just most.
just the young ones.
Just not present company.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay.
Well, probably that we all sort of play sport and drink excessively and have barbecues all the time.
That probably is true.
For some people it's true, but I wouldn't say it's true of all Australians.
True.
Throw a shrimp on the barbie. What on earth? No one does that. You might have a sausage on the barbecue, that's about it. This throw a shrimp on the barbie, I don't know where that came from. What else is Aussie that's not true that people think? Oh, that you call this a knife. That is not ever going to happen to you. There is no Crocodile Dundee here. Crocodiles aren't going to jump out of the river and attack you, depending on where you are. But yeah, it's not everywhere. And you can't ride kangaroos. I don't know who started that, but they're not pets. And you don't go for a ride on a kangaroo. They're not like a horse.
Yeah.